Good afternoon. It is our 3 p.m. on Tuesday. It is a short 30 minutes knowledge exchange. And typically in this session, and we just give you a very basic understanding of a certain subject matter. And today we want to talk about 1040. All right, and before I start, I know you're looking at my website. You can come to our website to either on board with us, which means that to be our client, you can go through that button and register yourself. Then we will contact you, or you can make appointment with us on the appointment button. Obviously, the other three buttons are our clients when they pay our invoices, when they want to check their files, or when they want to do their payroll activities, and they go to those buttons. So I want you to know our website is updates all the time. So we give our best knowledge on the website, like the asset protection strategies. And right now, if you're considering a wartime, and it is a good time right now to really look at your asset, figure it out, how to protect your asset. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not talking to you about, who is going to come over, sue you, and we're talking about a lot of changes in our system. So you really want to be alert, knowing that how to protect yourself. And here is our YouTube channel, right? I want to show you, because whatever we talk about today, it will show up on there, and you can look into that. The other day, I was talking to folks about golden triangles. The golden triangle webinar should be right somewhere here, and I'm looking for, I actually did not see, so I will, they normally should be here. I actually saw it on the YouTube. I don't know why right now I couldn't, but come over here to search for our library. That's what I'm trying to tell you. All right, let's go ahead with our today's content. 1040, who doesn't know 1040, right? It's like eating dinner and lunch and breakfast. Who doesn't know what that is? So we all know 1040. And what are the importance about 1040? And today we want to just touch on things that my client and they needed to know the most, because a lot of my clients are well-doing clients, but with a foreign background. For example, first generation of immigrant or third generation of immigrant, but you got connections to overseas, and you sort of, already the third and the second generation, you already come through, parents are passed away, what to do, and 1040 and all of that. I had a meeting with a client because the father passed away, and the estate didn't close timely. They got a lot of income and stuff during the time after the dad passed away and before the estate closed. So what to do? Do I still file 1040? So we touch on those things, the common things, right? This is about our firm out. Just past that, I want to say that make sure you take our knowledge we share here objectively. I'm not saying that we would give you the wrong information, but information could expire. That's the thing. That is out of anyone's control. So today I tell you we have QBI deduction. Tomorrow they can just kick it out down the road, and they kick the can down the road. It's gone. So not every information related to tax is going to stay forever. This is related to my philosophy in terms of you doing tax planning, doing tax plan. Never ever try to do something today, spending more money just because, 10 years down the road, someone tell you that you will pay more taxes. No, don't even go for 10 years. Don't even go for 3 years. And in today's world, don't even go for 12 months. And just plan what you have right now. That's the reality. That's what's real. And that's why our webinar continues to update. And we want to keep you, at your best. Know what's coming. As long as you know, you will survive. I mean, if during the Second World War, if all the Jews knows they're going to be put in a concentration camp, If we just tell them that if you don't leave your land, you're going to go to concentration camp, then nobody would be there. The reason is they don't know. They don't know that's where they are going. So in today's world, hopefully the media is open. You know what's going on. So knowing it is already 50% done. So make sure you know all the knowledge is out there, and make sure that you take care of your corner of life. All right. So Form 1040, individual tax return, is like, oh yeah, I know that, of course. There's a variance, right? 1040, the regular one. Then we also sometimes see 1040 SR. You don't ask for it. So when you do your 1040, if you are 65 or older, your 1040 just change it. Just change it to BSR. So for seniors. Then you also have 1040 NR for non-residents. And you may say that, oh, non-residents, that is a hard concept. I never got it. I don't know whether I'm non-residents or not. Let me give you the formula. So non-residents alien equals to individuals who are not U.S. citizen, who are not green card holder, who are not meeting the substantial present test. Substantial presence means that you are here for a long time, like the people without green card, without citizenship. They came undocumented, but they met substantial presence test. So they file regular 1040. They don't file 1040 NR. But if you are a foreigner and visiting U.S. for a couple of days and setting up the bank account, investing here in the stock market, and then you will file an R because you're not citizen, you're not green card holder, and you also don't meet the 183 days that you're supposed to stay to meet the substantial presence test. So that's who are filing an R. Form 1040X, that's amendment to all of the above. So if you did anything not right, file amendment. Those are the 1040 forms. All right. Filing status. We know single. We know head of household. We know married joint filing. We also know married filed separately, right? Sometimes people are wondering, oh, in what case I am going to do married filed joint separately. When you live in the state border, a lot of times the couple, one is working in one state, the other one is working for the other state. God knows, maybe your state don't charge taxes, the other state does. So you want to file, married file separately. So the other person can pay taxes properly there because they work there, and they can file non-residents of that state but getting the taxes back. Then the other person just have nothing to do with the other state. So married file separately has a lot of use. The qualified surviving spouse. This one is one die. The other one can have that status. You may say that, what's the big deal? The deal is you will have the married file jointly kind of treatment, but you only are yourself. So it's a good deal. It's a deal for 2 years for you, right? And estate. This is a little bit, sometimes can be a little bit confusing, and people goes, oh yeah, Ying, you're wrong. If you file estate, you're going to file 706. That's absolutely correct. That's absolutely correct. Especially if your estate is so big, you're going to pay estate taxes. You go ahead and file that, right? But what we are talking about here is that someone died in June. So from January to June, they would file a proper 1040 because they died, right? They died. So that year, when you file 1040 as a final return, okay? Then you may say that, no, I can't because I'm still waiting for the state refund. There's an interest income coming out from July to December. I still need to report. If that's the case, you will file 1041. Excuse me. if that's the case. All right, so you file 1041. Trust. Most of the trust do not file 1040. The only trust file 1040 is what we call the grantor trust, living trust. Okay, so that's why you see there's a lot of use, right, for the 1040. I'm sorry, I still need to cough. You must be the one making me nervous, because I never cough, and I didn't really have coughing before, and I don't think I will have it after this webinar, so it's just like it's here. And of course, on the dependent side, and you would have qualified for children, for your children's tax credit or the other dependent, right? So these are the core of 1040, just like this form I'm showing you. Forgot to mute my phone. And so this is the form 1040. So we talk about, all of these filing status and who would use this 1040. The 1040 can show up as SR for seniors, can show up at an X, like is your changed, is your amended, can also be an R, right? Reason update. So let me give you the reason update. The reason update in 1040 is the digital asset disclosure. And you need to answer whether you do have it or not. This started from 2022, so it's still going. And the qualified business income deduction is also a big one. This one is since 2018, expires this year, 2025, unless it is going to be extended. Most likely it will be extended, but let's say it didn't. Let's say things fell through the roof and things change, it didn't, then the business owners who has pass-through income will lose 20% of that income as a deduction. And one reason update I want to mention to you is there is a free IRS direct filing program. It's called IRS Direct Filing Pilot Program. That program only files the federal tax, doesn't file the state, but 25 states already participate in it. And our branch is located in Texas. Texas participated in it. That means you can go onto irs.gov to file your taxes for free, file your 1040 for free. And then the other branch we have is in California. It's also participated in it. Iowa did not, Minnesota did not. So not all the states, only 25. So Florida participated, Illinois did, Kansas did. So I have a whole list. If you check irs.gov, you'll find the 25 state, whether you are in that state. So here, this slide, I listed all the states. Then I also want to tell you that not everybody can file. If you're a business owner with a bunch of tax strategies that we implemented for you and forget about it, you're not going to be qualified for free filing. The income type is limited to those ones I listed here, and the credit type listed on here as well. So it's limited for simple tax, okay? So if you are with the state without taxes like Texas, perfect. Why do you even need to go anywhere? Just do that on irs.gov website, then you are done, right? So that's a good news, and I'm really happy with the simple tax filers. Now they have a way to not run their legs and also not pull out their wallet, right? It sounds like a good deal. And on the 1040 tax return, okay, and then there on the main form itself, these are the 4 major areas. If you close your eyes, just draw up the 1040 tax return. Other than the top with the informations and all that, the bottom with all these small lines and numbers, they're just 4 areas: income and adjustment, tax for non-refundable credit, and also payment for refundable credit, right? Then refund or the amount of you owe. So it just like very clear for area. So we can quickly look at these. So this is the income area, right? like what you have, you made. So income and income adjustment is all here. So you whatever you put in, normally if you use TurboTax and tax software like that, it already walk you go through the W-2 and interest income, all of these things you put in, then they just magically show up on the form. But this section of it is income and income adjustment. Income adjustment is just items that reduces your income. So you can you want to adjust it right here, because that's where the rate, after this the rate is calculated. Like if you are subject to higher income tax rate or lower one, it's all at the end of here. So you want to make sure that you have income, you have your adjustment, and your rate would be calculated right here. Then the non-refundable credit just means that in here, this section, they calculate your taxes. See that in line 16? That is the big number for you. It's like, oh, what you owe to the government. And then they have a non-refundable credit, means that it is a credit, but only if you have a number on the 16, then they give you that credit. They reverse that 16 number, be smaller. That's why non-refundable credit is grouped with taxes. So you can get to the very end of it, like 24 says it is your total tax, right? You may say, oh, give me an example, what that would be. Child tax credit, okay? Credit for other dependents, they're all coming over here to reverse the taxes you paid. But let's say if it is 0 here on the 16, then of course you don't get any refundable credit. Then the payments and refundable tax credit, these are things getting to your pocket. Payment got to your pocket. Refundable credit, it goes to your pocket. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter you pay taxes or not, you get it, right? So that is where the EIC is it is the refundable tax credit. You don't have to pay any taxes. You can get a bunch of EIC, right? Earned income tax credit. Education tax credit. Refundable child tax credit, that's another part of child tax credit, which is refundable. So you don't have to have any tax dues to get those. So those are the ones. Then after that is the last piece. You pay taxes or you get a refund. So, when you look at the 1040 tax forms, basically in your mind, you got the identification section, and then you come to income and adjustment. Then the tax got calculated onto the line 16, where you see the tax and you also see the deduction, that the non-refundable credit that come to play. Then after that is the payment of the taxes and refundable credit. Then maybe you get a refund or what. So that's how that normally goes on your 1040. So let's give you a summary look of this flow chart that I pulled somewhere on the internet. I don't even know where anymore. Credit should goes to whoever that is. I apologize, I don't remember the source. So here is the 1040, right? So you see the Schedule A, that's your itemized deduction. And the Schedule A become really useless after Trump made changes to the state and local tax section, limited to 10,000. And during his campaign, he did promise that he'll put it back. He didn't know why he did it. So I guess his minions and didn't know what he wants, so did something wrong on there. But anyway, so we got Schedule A here. Schedule B is your interest stuff. That's where you receive the 1099 interest income from your bank and stuff. Schedule D is the capital gain and capital loss calculation. Then you have Schedule 1, 2, 3, right? So you already know that Schedule 1, that's where your Schedule C, Schedule E, Schedule F, and Schedule SE all coming into Schedule 1. Then your Schedule 2 is actually what get reduced, what get deducted. But this Schedule 1 is where accumulating your total income. Schedule 2 reduce it, and the Schedule 3 is pretty much let's see what I got here. I actually couldn't remember what I put on the Schedule 3 as a note. So let's look at Schedule 1. This is the K1 and all your income and plus your adjustment on Schedule 1. So you can see that all of your key-in will reflect it here, then move into your first 2 pages of your tax return. So that's a Schedule 1 is meant for income. This is the adjustment to the income. So the adjustment, one of the adjustment you can see, there's a line 17, self-employed health insurance deduction. And this is like if you're a small employer and you might entitled to that deduction. And or if you bought SEP plan and qualified pension plan, you would get deduction right here. They reverse your income, right? So then here, the Schedule 2 is additional taxes other than the income tax. So they give you a list item of additional. So for example, additional Medicare tax, net investment income tax. If you never really know what they are, that just means your income is not high enough that to see those numbers. But if you see those numbers, you are already the person should do a very thorough tax strategy planning. Because that 11 and the 12, if you plan properly for small, medium-sized business owners, and you would have a way to not end up paying these kind of taxes. Okay, for the Schedule 3, now I remember it is actually for credits. So these are non-refundable credit we were talking about on the tax and non-refundable credit on the line 16 for the first 2 pages of the form. This is basically the breakdown for it. Then I want to point out one thing here. This place is calculating refundable, non-refundable. But the refundable credit right now, there is still one out there available to folks. That is on Schedule 3. You know, here where I put a number, this is really where you would get that number to reduce your taxes or to add to your refund. So it is a refundable credit for you still available and for 2021. So you can still amend your tax return to bring that money back to you on the 2021 form. So I just want to show you that. Then, of course, we touched on Schedule A, itemized deduction. We touched on Schedule B, that's interest and ordinary dividends. Schedule D, of course, capital gain and capital loss. And Schedule E are related to the rental properties and royalty payment, all your other passive income, right? I didn't list it here, but, you know, as you know, it is part of your tax return. And all of these schedules have special things in it. I know if I try to finish that, it won't be enough time for us today. But what I want you to know is, and you know, the best place, if I say this to you, you're going to say to me that, Ying, I don't need you to tell me that. But I am just going to be honest with you. The only way to really know your tax very well is to read the instruction IRS give us. And the good news is you only need to read it once. Then you'll be an expert. And I always tell my folks at Community CPA, a new staff coming on board, they receive a letter from IRS for the first time. And we literally require that person to read from the left corner on the top to the right corner on the bottom, every page for the whole document. The reason is you don't have to read so many times, because if you read 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, at certain moment of time, it just opens up. It's just like, oh, I got it. And so same thing with the schedule. Every schedule has an instruction. If you really think that your tax preparer don't know a thing, they're so passive, you tell them to do this, they do this, or you suggest that, they go no, and then you read instruction. You read it yourself, and then bring the instruction, highlight that, and go tell them, this is how I want to get it done. And then, of course, if you are within those 25 states, you can literally use the free filing system if your tax return is not too complicated. But let's say if you have a business that over millions dollar sales, and don't try to do this, and you know, you really need to identify yourself with a good CPA firm, so they know what to teach you to do. And a CPA firm, they're doing that day in, day out. We believe in profession, right? This is our profession. We're supposed to know that. So when you come to us, we will not disappoint you. And this is the appointment button on our website. If you click that button, 6 of us shows up. And we are all specialized in different things. And if you have a governmental side of an audit, and it just felt like the government don't get you, and it will make the situation really bad for you, then you should knock on Dr. Howe's door. And he is expert. And I am objectively stating that, not blowing the buffaloes or trying to say who is good or, bragging about our firm. Of course, we deserve to be bragged, but the reality is he is that great, that good. Then, of course, I'm the CEO, managing partner, and if you come to me, I have a lot of knowledge. A lot of knowledge, and a lot of times is enough. And do I have to study for some cases? Absolutely. And that makes me excited when I see new things that I learned and I realized, or I explored, come up with a different answer, and that's exciting. That make my day. And the other people right here, and then you can tap into them. And you know that our website, our YouTube channel, I showed you that earlier, right? Remember the YouTube channel right here? And this YouTube channel, you can literally search. You can search our topics. If you search retirement, and it will give you all the retirement webinars we have. So you can, retirement side of things did not expire that quickly, so you can actually learn from here. We have over 1,400 videos in there, and I'm sure you're gonna find something useful. And I hope that you enjoy my talk today, and I will be seeing you on Saturday 3 p.m. is my time again, and I'm actually posting that on social media platform, so hopefully people will join to listen to my topics next week. And I haven't really come up with a topic yet, so I still have a couple of days to gather what people really want to know. If you do want to give us a topic, let us talk about it. I'll tell you, this is the person's Catherine at Community CPA. She actually is the one that will schedule that for you. It's right here. Email at catherine@communitycpa.com. So hopefully you will become our client when at the time you need us, and at the same time we will, be here to support you as always. All right, I will talk to you again. See you on Saturday.